I think we're live.
Hello,
hello.
everybody.
Hey, everybody. Look at who's with me. My wonderful friend, Zane. We won't
Hi,
say
everybody.
the other word that I said last week 3 times in a row.
Hey, it's all good. It made me laugh and put a smile on my face.
Made me laugh too. Hey, Hen, how are you? You're awake. I'm so glad that you're with us.
Hey, Hen, it's been
Lovely.
forever.
Oops, somebody else. Oh, it's Chris.
Hey, Chris.
How are you doing, Chris? Missed you yesterday, but I'm glad that you spent time with Sandy. And uh-oh.
Can we get
How
rid of that person?
about if we decide, can somebody do something with that? Can I do it? I can.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, Donna.
Hey, Donna. You're doing good. How are you guys doing? I'm doing good. You doing good?
I'm doing really well, and I'm excited to be here. It's been way too long.
It has been way too long. Zane says that it's warm where he is in an hour and a half from me, and
Yeah.
I'm on the cool side up here in the mountains, and I switched all of my summer clothes for my winter clothes today,
Gotcha. We can't do that here yet.
and I
Still a little
realized
bit
that
warm.
I have a lot of
Hey, Jonathan.
Hey, Jonathan. I just got rid of that person.
Was it the same one?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
They came back with a question mark.
Oh, wow, Chris. That's wild. Staying safe? Everything going okay?
Wait a minute.
Said they're in the midst of Storm Amy. Very windy and
How are
rainy.
you seeing that? I'm not seeing that. Oh, there we are. Storm Amy, windy and rainy. Oh, wow. Yeah, stay safe. Yes, it's oh my God, Zane. How how's everybody doing tonight? We're so what does everybody have in their glass? It's morning for Jonathan, so I'm thinking coffee for him.
I've got some
Yes.
strawberry liquid IV.
Yeah, Zane and I were talking before we went live that neither one of us are drinking alcohol this evening. I'm on an antibiotic, so no alcohol for me, but I am drinking a ginger beer.
Oh,
And
yum.
Zane has liquid IV, liquid IV is like a super, a doubly hydrating water additive. Would that be right?
Yeah, yep, it's like one of those like mixed like powder pouches that you mix into your water, but it's a little bit stronger, so you mix it into like a larger amount of water. Like I have it in this big bottle, and it has electrolytes to keep you hydrated.
Right. It's supposed to be really good if you have a hangover.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yep.
I've been drinking it a lot lately, not for the hangover purposes,
No,
but
just
just
for the hydration.
yeah, I've never been a water drinker until recently, so it helps me not it helps me to drink more water because it's not just plain water.
Yeah, Mark has never been a water drinker either. He's been a really big Coca-Cola drinker. And I got him on first I got him on the little packets that you get at the dollar store, the drink packets that you put in water. So that
Hmm.
was cool. And now he's drinking like the squirty stuff, the drops that you put into water. And I'm okay with
Gotcha.
that. He's getting the water. And he stopped smoking.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh my gosh, it's been um 6 weeks.
That's
About
great.
6
Good for
weeks.
him.
Oh, wait a minute. No, it's been 8 weeks because he quit on our anniversary, September 2nd. And I'm really thrilled. I think that there are times where he might have a cigarette at work, but he's not smoking like he was, and I am absolutely thrilled for that.
I love that. That's awesome. I'm
Yeah,
happy for
long
you.
time smoker, so that's a good thing. He told his doctor when he went this time for his yearly checkup that he quit smoking. Dean
Hey,
and
Deanne.
Deb, how are
Hey,
you doing?
Debbie.
All right. So why don't you fill us in with what's been going on with your life and Tarot Toke and Witchery and whatever you want to share? Because I know you haven't been making videos of late, but you've been a busy guy.
I have. I haven't been making videos, but I've still been creating a lot, just not on camera. And as far as life in general, the biggest updates are I'm still in school. I'm going to school for my English degree online. So I'm just trucking along, knocking classes out for credits. Um, so that's been interesting going back to school as a 36-year-old. Um, but it's been going fairly well. Way better than I ever was at school when I was younger, so that's great.
Yeah. It was
Um,
easier for me to finish when I was an adult, too.
yeah, it's crazy how time can make such a big
All right.
difference.
So you're getting a bachelor's in English, right?
Yes, with a
Okay.
focus on fiction writing.
I'm so excited for that.
Me too, and thank you.
Have you,
And
okay, so when do you graduate? Do you have your date yet?
I don't have my date yet. I'm still a little ways off. I want to say I'm maybe around like 70 to 75% done, so I still got a
Okay.
little ways to go. A few
Okay.
more classes, which I'm not in any rush, honestly, because as long as I'm enrolled in classes, I get money from the military for school. So,
But you know what? This has been so good for you too, because it's been, some stability and consistency. And you were really, I remember us talking about that. You were kind of, that was the biggest thing I think for you was, oh God, am I going to be able to get up and go to class?
right.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
you're
so this has
doing
been
it.
great.
That's so
I
great.
am. And so that's also been great because it kind of helped me get back in touch with my creativity a little bit in the sense of like my writing, because I had kind of put it on the back burner for a while
Mm.
and was just focused on a lot of like digital art and like card creation. So it helped me get back in touch with my love for writing, which is awesome. But then that also did spiral into more like creative energy all around. So I've been creating a bunch of tarot related stuff behind the scenes, which I'll share
Um,
a little bit of
yes.
during
Tell
our
me.
talk.
Share with us. Tell
Um,
us.
so I have a recent deck that I was hoping, my newest deck, I was hoping to have a copy of it today to show, but it hasn't been delivered yet by USPS, a little delayed, so I don't have that to show. But I have another newer deck to show, which I haven't really talked about a lot, which is called the Dream Archive Tarot. This is the cover card for it.
It's so cool.
This is what the backs look like. It's the original version, there's two versions of the deck. The original is a very large deck. I have a standard tarot card here I
It's
can show
really
you the size
sized.
difference. It's a lot easier to see. So here's like next to a standard tarot card. It's a lot bigger.
I love it.
I want to say it's like 3.5 by 5.5, maybe something like
I
that,
like the size of an
dimension
index
wise.
card.
Yeah, it's rather large, and I just love it for the layout of the cards. I wanted to do something different than I had ever done before. So each card has the title. It has some planetary and zodiacal associations, and then three keywords or key phrases for each card.
Very cool.
That's a creepy one. That's the Nine of Swords. Sorry. We'll go to this, just show a couple real quick. I won't like show
Oh
too
my
many, but
gosh. Oh yes.
so this I wanted like a vintagey photograph based deck, something different than anything I've
Oh, that's
created
cool.
before. So yeah, that, and then I said there was two versions. This, since that one is very large and I understand unwieldy for some people, it's hard to shuffle. I made a tiny little pocket version. So the same setup, same layout of the cards, just a lot smaller. I want to say they're like bridge size maybe, or no, sorry, they're US games size is what they're called. US game size cards. A lot easier to shuffle. They're all on superior smooth cardstock, but the larger version does come in linen as well if you prefer that. At the behest of our good friend Jamie.
I I love that with make playing cards you can choose the kind of stock you want.
Yes, they have a bunch to choose from. There's multiple kinds of linen. There's superior smooth, standard smooth. There's plastic. The one I'm waiting for to get delivered that hasn't gotten here yet is in plastic cardstock, and I'm excited for that.
Well, that is what's it called again?
This is the Dream Archive Tarot, and it comes with, like I said, there's that cover card. Then there's a card that it's not going to show up great on camera. The text isn't as small as it looks when you're looking at it in person. But it's the Dream Archive Journey. It kind of explains the extra cards in the deck that make up the Dream Archive. And then there is a Dream Retrieval spread that I created with some assistance from my AI friend Alira.
Like my AI friend Lumen.
Yes.
I love that. Okay, so how many extra cards are there?
There are, oh gosh, I should have thought this through. I want to say there are 12, no, I lied. There are 16 extra cards.
Oh my gosh. Wait a
Yes,
minute.
that make up.
78 and 16 is 94 if my count is correct.
Yes, I believe that that is correct.
Wow.
I should have had the numbers all written down in front of me.
That's
Sorry.
okay.
I never like talking about myself, so I never think about it in advance.
Oh,
But like here's some of the extra cards, just as an example. Here's number 33, Gossamer.
I'm just looking to see if we have questions or comments. Ah, Deanne says, "Yay, English degree."
Yes. The Wellspring, number 32.
Oh,
Just thought I'd show some of the non-traditional extra cards. Number 30, the Spectre.
oh,
Soulmate.
hi.
How are you?
I'm good. Zane's here.
Good. Hi, Zane.
Hi.
We're live. Now you can hear Henry dancing on the floor because
Hi, Henry.
Mark's here. Oh, Jamie's here.
Jamie, hey.
I'm poker sized, aren't they? She
Oh.
says.
Thank you, Jamie. I was thinking poker size at first, but then something jumped out of my head and said US game size. Like card game size, I think is what they are, but I'm not 100%. It's just terrible.
Okay.
But
Madame Maru's House of Cards is here. I've seen Madame Maru on Gerald's channel, I think, and on
yep, that's Maruta.
Chris's channel. So hello, hello.
Welcome, Maruta. It's good to see you here.
And trying to see who else is here. Okay. I think I've got everybody. And we have both said that we are not drinking alcohol tonight for various reasons. But Zane's staying extra hydrated with liquid IV, and I have a ginger beer. I have a Russian-less, a Moscow-less mule.
I love that. I love ginger beer.
All right. So what else has been happening? What did you do this summer? Did you go to school all summer?
Ooh, I did. I had a little bit of a break at the beginning of summer, but just like, I want to say a week or two.
Mm-hmm. So how does school work for you? Because I know that, so you're going to Southern New Hampshire University, and it works a little bit differently. My oldest daughter went to Southern New Hampshire. You know that, but they don't.
Yeah.
So, but
yeah, so it's set up like I take 2 classes at a time, and each class is 8 weeks long. So I do 8 week terms, and then every 8 weeks I switch to a new set of 2 classes. So like
And is
right
there a
now
break
I'm in
between?
literary. What's that?
Is there a break between the classes? When you finish one, do you go right to the next, or is there a break?
Usually you go right into the next unless it happens to fall right around a holiday, then they'll usually give us like a couple of days or a week off.
Okay.
But yeah, like right now I'm in a literary theory class and then a class called the English language, which is all about like linguistics
Hmm.
and like makeup of the English language itself, which has been really interesting.
Mm. How has your wanderlust been?
Oh gosh, it's been backed up, but I have been trying to take little trips here and there. I've been taking trips. I have a friend who lives in New York City in Manhattan.
Hmm.
So I've been taking trips with my best friend Morgan up to see our friend Jess up there. Um, and we have a trip planned for over like a long weekend over Halloween to New Hope
Oh,
in
cool.
Pennsylvania, which is like a little spiritual witchy kind of town on the water, which I'm sure you know, but for everybody else.
Right. But, and say, like, okay, so if you're driving to New Hope from your house, it's about 2 hours, right?
Yes.
About 2 hours, 2 hour
Yeah, about
drive.
2 hours
And
from
to take
us.
the train, you can get the train right in Harrisburg and go right into New York, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what we do. We take it. It goes right from Harrisburg Street. It goes like through Philly. I think
Yep.
I forget what they call it, the Penn line. I forget. There's a name for it, but um it's direct. They were talking about shutting it down, but thankfully I haven't seen anything come from
I
that.
cannot even believe that they would do that. It's such a huge commuter train, especially during the week. That's a train I used to take from Lancaster into Philly when I worked there. And
Yeah,
it
that's
stopped in Philly for like 20 minutes or so. And then it went on to New York City.
yeah, there's always a layover. It's a very busy train. That's why I was so
Yes.
surprised they were planning on shutting down the line. But like I said, it hasn't happened. So
Well, that's good. That is good. I really liked, I missed the train situation that we had, um, that we have in Harrisburg, Lancaster area, that you can get to Philly. You can get to, you can get to DC by train. You can get anywhere by train practically
right.
from there. We have no trains up here. I wish we did. We used to.
None at all, nowhere near you.
No.
Dang.
No, the nearest train, let me think. Well, the nearest train would be Harrisburg.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So where I am.
Yeah. So in an hour and a half to the trains. So, okay, so the New Hope is a really cool, um would you call it witchy?
I would. Very spiritual town. There's lots of like little tarot shops and like crystal shops and um things like that. They
No.
have a new like they have like a wizard witch inspired like little cafe now where you can get like magical potion themed drinks
Oh,
and
that's cool. I haven't
yeah, and it
been
just
there.
has that kind of like
Vibe.
very like practical magic, like small town witchy but
Yes.
not overtly witchy kind of vibe to it.
Yeah. They're very LGBTQ friendly too, which I am
Very that, which is also a
about.
plus.
So right next to New Hope, there's another little place called Peddler's Village. Have you been there?
I haven't, but Morgan and I were literally just talking about it yesterday.
Oh, I think you should go. If you're going for the weekend, go and see. Depending upon the weekend you go, there's an apple festival there. And it's,
Okay.
oh my gosh, they make the best apple dumplings and apple fritters, everything apple. And it smells so good. You get out of the car and all you smell is like apples. It's wonderful.
That's
I
amazing.
love
Apples
all this
are
stuff
one of my favorites.
that happens in the fall. And then we're kind of talking about whether you're going to come up and go to the witches night market, right?
Yep.
So the witches night market is in a little place called Lehighton, which is about an hour away from me. And it every, like, I think it's the last Saturday in October, they do a witches night market. They've been doing it for for 3 years. It starts at like, I don't know, 4 or 5 o'clock, and it runs until 10 or 11. And they shut down streets, and they have all kind of vendors and they have all kinds of vendors, and the restaurants are open and the galleries are open. It's really a cool thing.
I'm excited for it.
And they have one guy who he was standing right next to a vendor that I was like perusing her stuff, and he had like, I don't know, he had a suit on and he had a microphone. No, did he have a microphone? No, he did not have a microphone. He was just screaming at the top of his lungs, "Repent, repent, you sinners, or be damned to the hellfire and brimstone." He's yelling and yelling. And I said to the woman, "Wow, like that's really like in character. That's like for the night." And she's like, "Oh no, he's real. He's from a local church.
I think that's so
He
funny.
comes every year."
But hey, it's great though, because maybe other people like you just assume that he's part of the shtick, which makes
Yeah,
it even better. No one's taking him seriously.
yeah, yeah. Emmy the Gray's here. Hi, Emmy.
Hey, Annie.
Oh, Beth's here. Aspasia Rising.
Hey,
Hey,
Beth.
Beth. Well, tonight I thought we'd do something a little bit different. Rather than do a tarot spread together, I thought you are like the sigil expert to me. You are. You and I got to talk about, we talked about sigils a couple of years ago when I was coming into all of this, and I love them. I don't know that I do them especially well, but I think that they are for me, they are um, like a protective boundary. I see it as. But okay, so why don't you explain what a sigil is and what you can use them for? How do you use them?
Okay, so I wrote down a little thing just to like keep my thoughts straight in front of me. But I mean, my general, what I'd say for a sigil, what I consider it is a symbol created to embody and manifest a specific intention or mantra.
Okay.
So I say intention or mantra because sometimes I like to use a straight up intention, sometimes like a little bit of a spiritual mantra that I will like repeat to myself sometimes to kind of focus my energy. I'll turn that into a sigil so that I have something to embody that energy that it creates for me. Um, so that's pretty much the general purposes for what I use them for, mainly to manifest an intention for
Okay.
me. I do a lot of manifestation work. A lot of people consider them to be a form of chaos magic, but I don't necessarily consider myself a practitioner of chaos magic. Sigils are just something that I discovered way back when, so long ago now. I honestly don't even remember where I first saw them, but they resonated with me and they helped me get in touch with my creative energy at the same time as my like magical energy and kind of mix them together, which was the first time I kind of dived into that using my creativity for magical purposes.
Okay. Well, see,
Um,
now you taught me something. So honestly, like this full super moon that's coming up on Tuesday would be a wonderful time to create a sigil, because
Absolutely.
although the full moon is all about releasing, under the super moon it's a good time to manifest as well.
Absolutely. And sometimes you want to manifest getting rid of things. So that right there
That makes
is
sense.
perfect for that energy. Yeah.
That makes sense. Ooh, so we're going to do one.
Yeah. And like I said, a sigil is to manifest an intention for me most of the time. That intention can be about anything. You can use sigils, as far as I'm concerned, to pretty much accomplish anything you want to accomplish magically, spiritually. Um, yeah, I use them for everything. They're like my favorite form of magic, honestly.
Well, Donna had to step back out for a minute, but she's back. Well, I'm glad you're back, because
Welcome
you
back.
because you're back for the best part. So how does everybody feel about creating their own sigil tonight, this afternoon, this morning, wherever you are, whatever
Yeah,
time it is?
I think it could be a fun little exercise for us
I
all to
do
make one
too.
together.
I do too. I'm waiting for some thumbs up. Is speaking of moons.
And while we're looking at the
Oh,
chat and
thank you,
everything, I can
MA.
also say there's multiple ways to craft a sigil. I typically use one of three different ways. I kind of alternate between three different ways, but there are even more ways than that to
Okay, so
create a
Chris is
sigil.
saying, love that. What do we need? So I think we need pen and paper, right?
Yep, pen and paper, pencil and paper, just any kind of writing utensil, something to write on.
The
Give
excitement.
yourself plenty of space because you're gonna be writing out your intention and then breaking it down a little bit, which I'll explain more as we go. And then you'll need space to actually kind of brainstorm and create your sigil. So
Okay, so why don't I give people time to get pen and paper and also kind of write out what they want their intention to be. And in the meantime, I'll go ahead and read from my notes what we have for this full moon.
sounds good.
All right. So this full moon is traditionally, okay, so we have the harvest moon and the hunter's moon. And the harvest moon is always the moon that's closest. I'm hearing dogs barking and I'm not quite sure where mine is. The harvest moon is the moon, the full moon that comes closest to the equinox. So this year it's this moon because the equinox was just last week, I think, or 2 weeks ago. So instead of the hunter's moon, it's this moon is the harvest moon because it's closest to the equinox. It's also a super moon, which means that this moon is making its way. This moon is closest to the Earth in proximity in its elliptical orbit. And let's see. It's going to appear 15% larger and 30% brighter. I'm so excited to see this moon. I can't even tell you.
It's gonna be awesome.
So, and you guys know the symbols and the themes of new moons. So it's about culmination and fulfillment. It's about gratitude and honor. And I think especially this month as we get more into the darker period of the year, except for Hen. We are, we're going to be doing maybe some shadow work, maybe some honoring our ancestors. The full moons are always good for releasing, letting go, and then for transition and preparation too. So this moon, because it's a super moon, also you may be feeling amplified intuition and emotion. I always think about how the moons move the tides. Like it's strong enough to move that in these humongous bodies of water, and we're like 92% or something like that water. So no wonder we feel funky around them. Bye, Jonathan. Jonathan has to go to parent teacher conferences. And yes, yay you, Hen. Hen's getting into her warmer months. We sometimes take pictures and send them to each other.
I love that.
Mhm.
I'm welcoming the cold weather, though.
I once took a video of snow. Remember, Hen, I was walking out my front door in the snow. It wasn't even a deep snow, Zane. It was maybe just a little bit past my ankles, but my feet were like crunching in the snow. That was fun. All right. Are we ready to start our journey into I was still in your dressing gown this morning. I've got my flannel PJs out, so
I've
there
been
you
like
go.
living in sweatpants and sweatshirts because it's been up and down. We've got warm weather days and cold weather days.
We do.
Still.
It's been typically October though now, I think. You know, we're over that 90 in humidity that we had all
Thankfully
September.
thankfully the humidity has died
Right.
down, but I
All
can
right.
deal
Give
with.
me a thumbs up when you guys are ready to start.
Also, I can mention while we're sitting here about the couple different types and the type that I'm going to be talking about
Okay.
today
Yeah.
and doing today. So, I mentioned that there were three typical types of sigils that I create. They all basically start the same way with your intention or mantra, and then when you break it down, there's a thing called a sigil wheel that looks something like this. And there's a method for creating sigils with that, where you take your letters and you kind of you follow the letters and leave your sigil on that wheel. And then there is a version where you take your mantra and you just write down symbols and things that come to your mind that make you think of that intention and that you think will help you manifest that intention. And then you kind of work them together and make a free form sigil of your own. And then there's the version I'm going to talk about today, which is where you break down the letters of your intention. So, are we good to start? If I just start talking
Oh
about
yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so like here is my mantra I'm going to be using today that I came up with for my sigil. It's I am inspired to create. I don't know if that color is a little bit hard for some people to see. There is I am inspired to create. And then you're going to take your intention once it's written out. Oh, and I guess I should start with you want your intention to be succinct and to the point. You don't want it to be like, I want to do this. I want this to come to me. You don't want to show like desire. You want to matter of fact it. So instead of saying like, I want inspiration to create, you're just going to say, I am inspired to create. Matter
Yes.
of fact, because you want to manifest it as if it is a solid, definite, there's no questions about it. It's going to happen. I am inspired to create. Some people like to do it as if it's already happened to kind of add to that, like it's inevitable kind of feeling. Like some people would say, I got inspired and I created. And that would be the sigil, or that would be the mantra that they use.
Okay. You talk. I'm going to watch comments.
Okay. So then, once you have your intention, like I said, mine is I am inspired to create. You can come up with your own intention for this, or if you want to use mine, if you're looking for a little more inspiration to get in touch with your creative energy, feel free to use the same intention. So then you're going to go through that and you're going to pull out all of your consonants
Okay.
and you're going to list them below, but you're going to avoid repeating any letters. So you want to take out all of the consonants, but only write down each consonant that you have in your mantra once.
So
Here's
consonant.
an example of my mantra broken down. I took out all the consonants, but then got rid of the extra letters. Like there's an extra R at the end and an extra T that I already have written in there. I didn't include them a second time, if that makes sense.
Okay, and I'll tell everybody what my mantra is. Courage is my wand.
Which I love.
And I told you before we went on the air, like I was thinking about it. It kind of just came to me, but then after I said it, I realized that Nerys made a wand for me many years ago, and it was a citrine wand, and it's called Courage. The name of the wand is Courage. It's inscribed on the wand. I love it.
Such a
So
beautiful
Courage is
thing.
my wand.
Yes. And this is also a perfect example of I'm using something that is more of an intention,
Hmm.
and you're using something that is more of like a mantra for you.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay, so I took all
I
the
don't want to
vowels
go.
out,
Okay.
and I have a Y in there, and I counted that as a vowel.
Oh, see, and I was going to say I usually use Y as a consonant when I do these, but
Okay.
it's up to everybody. Honestly, Jillie, it's up to your own what you feel is right for you. If you don't want to include Y's, you don't have to.
There's a lot of consonants in this little statement.
And you crossed out all the multiple
I did.
consonants? Okay. So then what I like to do after this next step, or after that step, is I break down my letters into the lines that make up and form letters. So there is a vertical line, a horizontal line, the two diagonals, and then the two directions of a half circle.
Okay. So I have one C and I have an R. So that R is going to be an up and down line and a diagonal line and then a backward C too, right? So will that be three?
So what I do is I list out each of those line types, and then I go through and just look for all of the vertical lines
Okay.
that make up the entire that are in my mantra, and then I write the total number of vertical lines.
Okay. Can you move your finger so I can see?
Yes,
There we go.
sorry.
Do you got does everybody have it over here? How are we doing? How's everybody doing? Okay. So
Sorry, everybody. I don't have a setup to be able to share my screen or have an over top camera. That would have made this a little bit probably easier for people watching,
oh
but
no,
we're
but
going old school.
Chris Kelly, if you're there, I've just downloaded OBS and I think I'm going to need remedial help. Okay, Emmy says, yep, she's with us.
Awesome. How's everybody doing? Going smoothly so far? Anybody have any questions? Sometimes I have trouble getting my words out and explaining things properly. I'm working on it, so hopefully it's been understandable.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and then mine, thankfully, not super, super short, but short enough that it didn't give me lots of extra work. But
Okay. Okay, so I have 8, 1, 2. I think that's supposed to be 3, 3, and 3. Okay, I got it. Oh, thanks, Chris. I opened it up and thought, oh my gosh.
yes,
Yes,
Chris, I do count an S as a forward C and a backward C.
that's what I did too.
And again, there are going to be variations because of the way people write their letters. Some people might consider an M all diagonal letters, but I consider mine to be two straight lines and then two diagonal lines because of the way I write my M's.
That's how I do too.
It's going to vary depending on how you write and how you see the letters when you write them. And that's okay because this is personal to you. That's the best part about a sigil is something you're creating with your intention, your energy, your thought process. And then
He
I'm
said,
going
lucky mine is
to,
a short one.
I saw that. It's funny.
Okay, let us know when you're ready to move on to the next one and take your time.
The next step, honestly, is the fun part. So, I mean, we can even start talking because this part is the part that's just going to be kind of like free form for you to take your time and work it out the way you want to do it. So, if people are still writing, they'll be able to catch up with us easily.
Okay.
Um, so basically, from here, you just take your numbers now, like how many of each of those lines, and you work that number of those lines into a symbol while you focus on your intention or your mantra. So
So,
like you have, so like here I have 8 vertical lines that I have to use, and then 1 horizontal,
me
1
too.
diagonal, 3 of the other diagonal, and so on. So like here, I'll show you a real quick example of my first two. I'm gonna do a vertical line and a horizontal line. So this is gonna be like the base for my sigil to like
Oh,
build on top of. And
okay.
then I would um mark my vertical lines down to 7, and I use my 1 horizontal line. So I update my numbers. I've got 7 vertical left and no more horizontal lines to use in my sigil. And then you basically just go through until you have a 0 for all of your
So wait a minute. The two
lines.
lines that you use, do you count that as 2 vertical lines and 2 horizontal lines? Or do you count them as one?
I count it as one because it's one continuous line that I'm
Okay.
drawing.
Okay. And then I just thought, ooh, I have 8. I could make an octagon, but no, I can't because they have to be all straight lines. I'm confused. And do you have to start with your vertical lines, or do you think that that's just the easiest way to go?
That's just the way that I do it because it's for me it's a lot easier to kind of take this like plus sign kind of shape and then build the lines onto it. It's just a good base for me. You can do it in any order you want to.
Okay.
That's what again makes it's a little bit harder for me to like tell you a definitive way to do because it can go however you want it to. This is just the way that I lay out mine to give myself a good base because then I have these lines that I can add vertical lines to easily. And then I can like, put a circle down here at this end and it changes the shape. And then I can put vertical lines and or diagonals and it turns into an arrow, which can symbolize like upward movement and growth.
Gerald's here. He says traveling and lurking with poor service. I'll watch the playback. Hi, Jillie and Zane,
Hi,
Zach,
Gerald. Thanks for popping in.
and all in chat. Oh man, I'm never gonna live it down. Okay. Chris says, I'm using the same phrase and want to make sure I got the same. And want to make sure I got the same. My brain is struggling a bit with this. I'm surprised because it's maths.
There you go, Chris, one more time.
Oh, and show me your numbers again, Zane.
What's that?
Chris asked you to show your numbers again.
Oh, okay, perfect. That's what I'm doing. Just remember that I crossed out the 8 and the 1, but that's what they were to start with.
Okay. All right. I gotta get with this. See, now I'm gonna get stuck. Okay, so let's.
And this is the thing. Some people get bummed out because their sigils aren't like aesthetically pleasing, and that's important to some people. That's not necessarily something that's important to me. They don't have to look super great. If that's something that's important to you, that's something you can work into it, which can be a little bit more confusing because you're trying to find a placement that makes things look beautiful and proper. But if you want to just go for a raw one and just add the lines and add the lines and add the circles and add the curves and just be done with it, it'll still work as long as you imbue it with your intention and build it off of your intention. So like here's just a little progress update for me for people. Remembering to cross out my numbers and update them as I go, and just building my lines and my
Oh,
curves and my
wow.
circles.
Okay, I got it. I think. Oh
The
no,
whole thing?
I don't have it yet.
There's no rush. Sometimes it depends. Sometimes it takes longer. Sometimes it just comes into your head and you're like, oh
I'm
yeah,
sure
then
I'll
it
do this
just
again.
flows. And sometimes it just takes a little bit more intentional thought. It just kind of, I just tend to go with the flow and try to get out of my own head because it's very easy to overthink with the sigil. That could be a good sigil for you to create if you're an overthinker too.
Oh, I don't know. Okay, I have one. I think it could be aesthetically pleasing. I think if I could draw a straight line, it would be good. Say hey to Jeffrey if he's driving.
Yes, hi Jeffrey. So here's my sigil.
Oh, do you have yours? Okay. Okay, here's mine.
Oh, that's awesome. Completely different vibe from mine. And see, that's the cool thing.
Yes.
They come out different for everybody because the way your mind sees the lines and puts the lines together is going to be completely different from the next
And
person.
what if, okay, so what if you, you know, do the sigil and then, I don't know, next year, yes, it is shaped like a wand. That's really cool that you said that. It is. Oh my gosh.
And see,
Um,
it's crazy when you tap into your creative energy, the synchronicities are
yes.
inevitable. And I love
Okay,
it.
so say I put this away, like not
Hmm.
the sigil, but say I put the courage is my wand away, or maybe the sigil away too, and then a year from now I pick it back up again and the sigil is all different. It still has that same power to it because your creative energy has gone into it, right?
Absolutely, 100%.
How did yours come out?
And that's another cool thing to bring up is that some people like me, because I'm such a sigil lover, I love, and I have my big book of shadows in front of me because I wanted to show this. I have a section in here dedicated to my own sigils that I've created, and I
Oh,
add whenever I create a new one, I add it into like my glossary of sigils.
oh, I love it. So
So,
then if you have a certain, I don't know, need, is that right? Or you want to
yeah,
manifest something, you go back to what you created before.
yes, and I want to add on to that though that the great thing about sigils is also if you want, it can be something that you create specifically for that moment in time. And because some
Yes.
people will burn their sigils, they'll make one single copy, they'll create their sigil, and then they'll burn that original copy of their sigil with their, and for them, that's part of the magic is that it only existed for that and manifestation.
Okay, let me ask.
Whereas I like to keep them and reuse them.
So let me ask this question. I have a
Hmm.
sigil that
Yep.
someone else created. It
Hmm.
was kind of a group thing at the time.
Yep.
And it was mailed to me. And um, I like charged it for lack of a better, I don't know what else to say. I charged it and I put it on my windowsill. And then that particular situation was over. but that sigil can be used again and again and again for different situations, or just in general, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
As long as the intention, like the intention that was put into that is still applicable to the situation you're using it for, of
Yeah.
course. Yeah.
Okay. That's a beautiful thing. And Jamie, I have a question about sigils and runes, because would a bind rune be considered like a sigil, since runes were originally like a language? Okay.
See,
What
and
did
Jill,
you say?
not Jillie, and Jamie and Gerald and I have talked about this kind of before behind the scenes. Like we've talked about like runes being used in sigil creation and stuff like that.
Yes.
And for me, I don't typically tend to read runes and I'm not super like well versed and studied in them. So I don't incorporate them into my sigils just because I'm not familiar and I feel like that can get kind of dangerous using symbology that you're not well versed in within your magic.
Okay.
But a bind rune is definitely a version of a sigil in my eyes.
Okay. And then I'm going to say one other thing about runes, but I want to read Chris's comment here.
Yes.
Now you can see it, right?
Yep.
I think
Yep.
FKR is a swear word that begins with an F. Is
Hmm.
that okay? To be symmetrical, but I also have a weird number of slanted lines and C's, so it's not going to be. It is what it is.
See, and that was something for this form of sigil that did take me a little bit of time to get used to because I'm also the kind of person that if I have to have four vertical lines on this side and only three on this side, there was a point in time when that would have bothered me.
Jamie, I was wondering if you could remember that sigil. And it was a warding sigil and can be used forever. Yes. And bind runes are definitely sigils. Okay. Then, without sounding like uber goofy, I took two sigils and created a name for myself that I will not share right now. I might share it later, but it doesn't matter. I'll share it. What the hell? We're all friends. So it's Ethelwyn. And so I took the rune for Ethel and the rune for Wyn. Ethel means home, and Wyn is joy. So house of joy. And put them together. And Mr. Honey is going to make me a little necklace to wear with that. And to me, that's a sigil as well.
Yeah, it's all up to you and
Use
your
your surplus
personal.
seeds to make. Oh, how cool is that?
That's what I did too, Chris.
I love it. I
That's what I
love
did at the
that.
bottom of mine.
Oh, thanks, the artist formerly known as Jillie. Love that. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I thought at one point I might write under the name of Ethelwyn, but I'm just out there now. I don't care. And maybe I will write under Ethelwyn now that I've got my writing thing on. What's interesting about that too is that I bullet journaled every day, like most every day, for a good, oh my gosh, like 5 or 6 years. And now that I'm writing digitally every day, like
Hmm.
writing the Crone's Compass or writing something, I'm not writing on paper anymore, and I miss that. And so I'm trying to get back into the habit of just instead of writing like a daily diary kind of thing, I'm just working with pulling cards and working with moon phases. Because I've been doing the new moon and the full moon for a long time, and now I kind of want to incorporate the other moons that come up. So you're working with something like every week.
I love it. I'm so excited to
And
get my first copy of your zine.
oh, I will email it to you when we're finished. Yes. All right. What did you guys think of that? Do you have any questions for Zane? Or I wish we had a place to like share what they look like, but I don't know. It's also a pretty private thing. So
Yeah, some people don't like to share theirs. Like you saw, I held up my book with all of mine in and showed a couple. Like, I don't mind it. I love sharing them.
yeah,
And I wanted to just to give people an idea of how different different sigil creation methods. Sorry, my words. The different ways that they can turn out using the different methods. For my same exact mantra, you saw this was my sigil that I came up with.
right.
I used one of the other methods real quick where you just take your consonants that you're left with, and you write them down in overlapping ways that make a sigil. And it came up looking like that.
Wow.
So
That-
there's really just so many ways that a sigil can be created and like look like when it's done. And
Okay, so
it's
now
just such a fun thing to dive into and play with.
now I'm excited. So let's talk about using them, because I bet you could use them like with candle magic. You could fold them up and put them under your candle and use them with candle magic. You could
Absolutely.
you could stir them into your food, you know?
That's one thing that I know a lot of people will do. They'll use something that has like a sauce in it or something, and they'll use their finger to write the sigil in the sauce, and then they'll consume the food, and that's how they
That's really
manifest and bring their sigil into action.
you could carve it
Um,
into wood or into polymer or into a candle.
yeah, you can use it in a spell jar. I do that quite frequently too.
Okay, tell
It's great
me
for
again.
manifesting.
Okay, so the manifesting, we did a honey jar once.
Yes, and that's a version of a spell jar. Yeah.
Okay, do you remember
Um,
that? Can you tell the people real quick how to do that? It's a
a
jar.
honey jar or a spell jar in general.
Oh, well, we have time. You could do both, but pick one.
Okay. Okay, well, I'll just do a spell jar in general because there's so many versions. You can kind of tailor it to what you need. A honey jar can be, or honey jar can be a version of a spell jar. So spell jar is something you create to manifest a specific intention in your life. You put different things that symbolize the intentions of what you want to manifest, and you put them in the jar, seal them in there. Usually, you seal it with some kind of wax, a color that um, goes with your intention. Like when I make a money jar, I use green wax, and you can
Okay.
use gold wax or a gold candle as well because that symbolizes money and wealth. So you basically put anything and everything you want that symbolizes that intention into one place, into a jar, and you seal it. And then a lot of people will bury them in the earth until their manifestation comes to pass, and then they'll release that spell however they do it, or they dispose of it.
So you could leave it
You
buried.
can, yes, some people do leave them buried. I wouldn't recommend doing that unless you're burying it on your own property. Like I live in an apartment building, so I don't bury things here because
Right.
I don't really feel like that's right to do. Um, but sigils are great for that because you can write them on a bay leaf, which will amplify the manifestation
Oh,
powers
yeah,
because bay
yeah,
leaves are great for that. And
yeah.
you can put that bay leaf with your sigil in there, or you can literally just put it on the paper, you fold it, and you make sure as you're folding it, you fold it towards you, and then you turn it and you keep folding it towards you because you want to manifest that for yourself. Unless your manifestation is to send something away, then fold it
Away
away
from.
from yourself.
Okay,
But
well
if you're
that's
trying to
good.
bring something, yeah, if you're wanting to bring something into your life and manifest something into your life, fold it towards you. If you're trying to get rid of stuff and manifest things going away, fold it away from you until
Oh,
it's small
really,
enough to fit into your jar.
really,
But
really.
like you mentioned we did a honey jar.
Yes, we did.
And that's for if you want to bring in abundance, sweetness, positivity, all things that like honey can symbolize abundance, connection to people, because you know bees are they're a hive, so it's good for like connecting to those around you and your community energy and stuff like that.
And we wrote a mantra or
Hmm.
what we wanted to manifest. We put it in the bottom of the jar and we put honey on top of it. And then we put herbs on top of it, I think, too.
Yeah.
I want to say rosemary, but I'm not sure.
And I tend to use bay leaves in all of my spell jars because they're
Okay.
always meant to manifest something in some way, shape, or form. And like I said, bay leaves are great for that.
Okay, and when we're talking about jars, it's nothing fancy. You can use a rinsed out spaghetti sauce jar.
Yeah, as long as
Just
you're
make
able
sure
to
it's
put,
clean.
as long as you're able to put a lid or some kind of sealant over the top of it,
Yeah,
because
jam jar.
you need that kind of visualization to kind of help complete the spell. You want to be able to seal it.
Um,
But again, that's something that's so up to your own personal. You can use whatever you have in your house. Like if you have rice, that's great for abundance. I like to use rice in the bottom of all of my spell jars
oh,
if
that's
they're
a
going
good
to have some
idea.
kind of abundance. Yeah, it
Okay.
gives a good base. And then,
Masha's here.
hey, Masha. Oh my
Masha,
gosh, it's
it's
been a
so good
while.
to see you. It's all fun and games until a squirrel digs up the stuff, or your dog.
Or your dog, if you've got.
I can see Henry running around with a spell jar in his mouth. He's not usually a digger, but you never know. Oh my
And, and another,
goodness.
and another super quick way you can use the sigil to manifest. A lot of times, if I don't want to go through a whole bunch of like ritual, if I don't have the time for it when I'm like trying to manifest something, I'll put my sigil on a small piece of paper and then I'll, like I said, I'll fold it towards myself or away from myself, depending on the intention. And then I'll just say a couple words to the goddess, to the universe, whatever kind of energy I'm channeling to manifest, and then I'll just burn it and scatter the ashes
Oh, that's a good
on the
idea
earth
too. See,
or to the
it's
wind.
yeah. You could
They're good
actually,
for bonfires, you know, like when people have bonfires
yeah.
for like for I like to burn a lot of sigils during, why am I blanking right now? Beltane, because of the bonfires.
Hmm.
Good for burning manifestations and having the smoke and the ash carry it up into the universe.
Well, this is it. I mean, we're really getting into bonfire season here too because it's getting cooler.
Absolutely.
This has been so much fun.
I've had such a great time. Thanks for having me on.
Oh my god, I'm so glad that you are here. I am, let's see. So what's going on with your channel? Is anything, are you planning to do any videos, or are you like totally in school mode now and we're not doing anything until that's over?
That's kind of where I have been up until this point, just focusing on school and focusing on like being creative off camera, but I do have intentions of putting more content on my channel at some point. I just don't want to make promises right now when I've been so busy behind the scenes. I don't want to make promises I can't back up, but I do plan on making a comeback talking about like my creativity and stuff that I've been working on lately, kind of showing that off and maybe starting a new creative project and taking everybody along for the journey.
Oh, that'd be so much fun. That would be so much fun. That's so much fun. I am going to be live again in 2 weeks for the new moon with Donna. She'll be with me, Donna, and I don't know what kind of mischief we'll get up to, but we'll think of something. I just put out I don't know, like 45-minute ramble that was like a summer wrap up and what's been going on and blah blah blah. It was fun to do, but I looked at it and I was like, oh my god. So put it on and do something else for a while. Hi there. Hi. Yes, I know. Um, I have a video that's going to be coming out. That is a VR to Miss Kulala, Mystical Musings. She is into palmistry, and she's doing a series this fall. it was September. She did a series on palmistry. So I did a VR to her. And I have one coming out about, I was going to call it the cards that scare me, but I don't know. That's kind of clickbaity because they're not really cards that scare me, but they are the cards that when I get them if I'm reading for somebody else and I get those cards, I'm like, so I want to do a video about that.
Gotcha.
And that's what's happening. That's what's happening in my world. The new Crone's Compass has come out for October. It's over on Buy Me a Coffee, and Emma put a link in, and there's also a link in the description. It's over 40 pages. It's so much fun. I'm going to start working on November's next week. And that's one thing I like. So I'm working in November and I forget what full moon am I in? What season is this? I get confused. So, but anyway, thank you so much for being with me today. It was so much fun. And thank you to everybody in the chat for being here. I appreciate y'all so much.
Here, everyone.
Everybody and everybody who's driving and safe, and thank you for doing that again, Emma. I appreciate you. And oh yeah, the beginning of November, Emma will be with me for the full moon. So
exciting.
Yes. All right, you guys. Take care, everyone.
Bye, everybody. Thanks
Bye,
again.
everybody.